Hey, what's going on everyone? Curious Wanderer here. Right off the bat, you should notice two differences. Number one, I'm recording in 720p instead of 4K. This is because I do not have access to high quality internet at the moment, and likely will not for the foreseeable future, so I have to cut down on file sizes. Number two is my voice. I no longer have to worry about waking up roommates, so I can use my normal speaking voice. Yay! Today I want to talk about why people play video games. Admittedly, there will be different opinions on why people game depending on the person, and you may have different reasons for gaming than I do. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to tell you the reasons why, in my personal opinion, many people like to play video games. Before we begin, let's get the elephant out of the room, shall we? If you are a gamer like I am, you have no doubt heard the infamous question, "Why do you play those silly things?" Followed by the equally infamous declaration, "They're just a waste of time." Okay, let's back up and consider things from a more general perspective. Ask any person if they, at any point in their lives, have engaged in an activity not because it had any intrinsic real-world value, but purely because they enjoyed it and found it entertaining. And they will have no choice but to say yes, unless they are lying. We all enjoy things at points in our lives, and to varying degrees, that have no value in the real world, so I do not consider this a valid reason to criticize those who play games. An outsider may view games as silly wastes of time. However, you cannot truly understand why people play games unless you yourself play them. With all of that out of the way, let's begin. The first reason I want to talk about is engagement. I'm sure many of you have enjoyed watching a movie. You probably enjoyed the story, characters, aesthetic design, music, cinematography, and so on. What if, however, instead of sitting there and being a passive observer, you could actually participate in the story? Games allow you to do this. In many cases, you are limited to playing a certain role. The outcome is fixed. For example, maybe you need to escape a planet after your spaceship was forced to crash land. If the gameplay is fun and the characters and story are interesting, you'll have a good time. Many games, however, take this a step further by giving you the illusion of choice. Role-playing games are the best at doing this. At points in the story, you will be given choices regarding what actions you want to take. Depending on what you do, the outcome of the story can change drastically. These can be a lot of fun because you have a reason to experience a great story all over again, but see a different outcome. In many cases, there will be various side quests which also give you choices, and depending on the choices you make, these little mini-stories can also have different conclusions. The second reason I want to talk about is challenge. Not only do games allow you to participate in a story and sometimes influence how that story plays out, but also they can offer fun challenges to overcome. I can think of no other series that better demonstrates this than Dark Souls. The Dark Souls games are notorious for being extremely difficult. The regular enemies are challenging, but the main foes you must defeat at the end of every section are the bosses. Each boss is really difficult. Usually you will not beat these super tough enemies on the first try. You learn through failure. You have to observe their movements and then act to avoid their attacks. You need to evaluate the strategies you use in order to defeat them. Each boss requires a different approach. When you finally overcome a boss, the feeling is like nothing else. It's a total rush to finally overcome an epic boss that has been giving you a lot of trouble. The third reason I want to talk about is perhaps a shorter one, and that reason is story. While it is true that in many cases a story is created as an excuse for the gameplay, when game developers take the story seriously, the effect can be mind-blowing. In The Witcher 3, I found myself faced with many hard choices. Often, no choice seemed like the right one. I was forced to choose between two evils, and the writing was genuinely spectacular in many cases. Even in games where you don't have a whole lot of influence on the outcome, stories can be fantastic. Two of the best stories I've ever experienced in any entertainment medium, period, came from Nier Replicant and Nier Automata, two games that do not allow you to influence the story in any way. It's one thing to sit and passively experience a great story, but when you are a participant, it can be that much more impactful. The fourth reason I want to talk about is sort of two in one, and they are escapism and the thrill of discovery. The human imagination is a remarkable thing. Anyone who has lived in the workaday world knows how dull it can be. Go to work, wait desperately for the weekend is over in a flash, then right back to the same old grind. Go shopping, make food, pay bills, pay debts, worry about family if you have one. It can all get incredibly dull and wearisome. Playing video games allows you to experience incredible new worlds, places that could never exist in reality, but you also get to experience the thrill of discovery. Once again, referring to Dark Souls, there have been many times where I found an item or a little closed-off area I had never seen before. Games which reward exploration can be incredibly engaging and fun. The fifth and final reason I want to touch on that people play games is the art. I have played many games in the past whose artistic choices astonished me. This goes for the visual style, sound design, and music. Especially music. When these things are done well, it can make for a powerful experience. Three standouts I have experienced in recent memory are Witcher 3, Nier Replicant, and Nier Automata. One last example to close this point out is the Dark Souls 3 boss, Dark Eater Midir. Midir is a huge black dragon. He looks incredible. The sounds he makes when he attacks are well done. The arena in which you fight him looks great. The fire effects from his attacks are well done, and the music while you fight him is absolutely spectacular. I have not fought him yet myself, but I have seen videos. The art style, music, and sound all come together to create an incredible experience. In all of the ways that matter, games are an art form unto themselves and deserve to be respected as such. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.